Hello and welcome to our live tutorial. If you're catching me now, you're probably watching the replay. We are going to make a simple, affordable bow holder. You can get these canvases at any craft store. You can even actually get them at the Dollar Tree in various sizes. So what you need is your canvas. You can either paint it, decorate it with marker, have your kid color it with crayon, however you want. I'm going to apply a fabric panel. You're going to need some ribbon to hang your bows with, scissors to cut anything, and a lighter to heat seal the end of your ribbon so it doesn't fray. To attach a fabric, if that's what you're choosing to do, you can use hot glue or flat thumbtacks. I prefer using a staple gun. I got this at Target, I believe, for about $20. Really simple to use, and with the canvas that has the wood frame, they work perfectly. You can use a flat canvas as well, just hot glue over the edges. But I believe the staple works best as far as like holding up the weight. So first thing we're going to do is, if you're using a different medium on your canvas, you would do that and have it all dry. Like if you're painting, the paint would be dry right now to get started, but I'm going to attach the fabric, so I'm going to show you how I do that. So I'm going to make sure the image is centered on where I want it to be, because my panel is bigger than the canvas. And this is a fabric panel from Sash Fabrics. So I'm going to roll this over the edge. So I turned it carefully so that the image is still where I wanted it. So I'm going to pull it a little bit, not like a ton, but a little bit, so that it's nice and stretched over the canvas so it doesn't sag. And then I'm going to just staple it in place in a couple of spots. This might be really loud on your video, I'm not sure, so you might want to turn down your volume right now. And I am going to be careful to not staple on top of these staples, because then it won't be secure, because it'll just bend over top of it. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it to the other side, pulling it a little bit, tightening the image, and I'm going to check it to make sure it's where I want it to be. I'm pulling it a little tight so that the fabric is tight on the canvas, and then I'm going to staple this side in place. Okay, I'm not trimming yet because I like to do all four sides and then trim. So you can use any kind of fabric. You can even go, I know a lot of the fabric stores and even some craft stores like Hobby Lobby have reversible sequins. So you can even use that, because I know little girls love that right now. Or like I said before, you can paint it, color it, however you want. You can just leave it blank if you wish. Alright, so this is where I'm going to start trimming, but I'm going to be conscious of my edges because I want the rollover on my edges to look nice. So I'm going to figure out how I want those. Sometimes I'll do a triangle like this to triangle it over the edge so it overlaps on each side. Sometimes I try to do a square corner. It really just depends on the feel of whatever the print is of the fabric and what kind of mood I'm in, I suppose. think for this one, I'm going to go with a square edge. So for the square edge, I'm going to trim this down a bit because this end is very long. And then I'll trim it better again after I get my corners done. Actually, I think I'm going to do it this way. Okay, so I'm kind of, sorry, I thought I muted my phone, but it's still on vibrate. So I'm kind of going to do a wrapped edge like this. And then I'm going to staple through a couple of layers. Oh, I think I'm out of staples. Add more staples. I grabbed more staples because I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough in there. So just reload my staple gun. And I'm good to go. So reline this up. Now, when I'm stapling this corner, I'm going to do it a couple of times because I am going through a few layers of fabric. And I don't want it to come undone. So there's that corner. Then I'm going to do the same thing for each of the 4 corners. And if you just really, you see a fabric that you really like, you don't even have to make it a bow holder. You can just do this and hang it just like that. The little fuzzies on there. All right, so now is when I'm going to trim the fabric completely down. So what I do is I come to the back end and I trim it so that it'll stop like roughly to where the edge of the wood is. You can even get an old t-shirt if your child has like a favorite character or something and you don't want to buy a bunch of fabric to do it. You can use an old t-shirt and just make sure you center your material the same way as you would with a piece of fabric. I prefer knit fabrics because I feel like they stretch over the canvas the best, but you can use anything. I'm just a huge knit fabric lover all around. All right, so let me trim this side a little more. Okay, so there we have the image on our canvas. That part's done already. So we're already halfway done. We barely had to do anything. So first we're gonna do, you can either hang it right from the back so it hangs just like this, or you can put a hanging piece on it like so. And just so you guys know how to do it, that's what I'm going to do. So you don't really have to go by any measurements for this. You can just decide what you like. This looks good to me. Take your lighter and just rub it over the edge so that it makes a crease, like it melts it a little bit. It heat seals the end so that the ribbon isn't going to do that and unfray. Alright, so I'm going to turn it back over. And you can either put it like this and in the center, or you can spread them this way. I like to spread them. So I'm going to find my center. And you can even use a ruler for this. I'm just giving this to Peyton, so I'm not really too worried about it. But you can measure so that it's directly centered. And then just staple it on. And there's your hanger. Now, some of you asked me to do this because you have heavier bows, and the huge bows, when you hang them on this little ribbon, they kind of flip upside down. So if you've got huge bows that you need to hang, you can wrap your ribbon around your canvas very tightly like this, or you can do it diagonal, you can do it straight up and down. You would just wrap it like this tightly, measure how long you'd need it, cut it, heat seal, and staple in place. Now, because I have this big image on here, I don't want to do that on this one because the bows are just going to cover up the picture. But that's how you would do that, and you can do it any way you want. You can even do it diagonally like this. You just make sure you pull it nice and tight and staple it in place. But for this one, I'm just going to do the hanging. So I'm going to do them about this long. It's a little bit longer than the length of the canvas. So that'll work perfectly for me, I think. And I'm going to do 2 strips. You can do as many strips as you want. If you're using it for little bows, you can do, I'd say probably up to 4 strips. I wouldn't do any more than that just for space and weight. Another cool thing you can do is if you don't want to use canvas, you can get the wooden letters and paint those and spell out your child's name, and then just hang strips of ribbon off of those as well. So I heat sealed these, and now I'm stapling them to the back. And there you have it. There's a bow holder. Easy peasy, chicken squeezy. That's what Peyton says, chicken squeezy. So there you have it. There's your bow holder. Super affordable. And I went and looked yesterday. You can get everything you need for these from the Dollar Tree, besides a staple gun or a glue gun. But if you use a glue gun, you can even get the glue there. You just would have to get your glue gun somewhere else if you don't already have one. And you can get those at Walmart for under $4. So for less than $10, you can make your own bow holder. If you like this tutorial, share it with your friends. Anybody who has children who like bows, or anybody who you think would like to see how to wrap a canvas with some fabric, share it with your friends. And tomorrow we launch the VIP exclusive group, which will be a paid membership where we will have tutorials and recipes and all sorts of awesome things for you guys available. So make sure you keep your eye out for that. Tomorrow night, it'll launch at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for watching.